Let's go Chiefs Kingdom. The offseason is heating up, and the Chiefs are making major moves to stay ahead of the competition. Let's break it all down. The Chiefs are making some big moves this offseason, and Patrick Mahomes is once again standing out, not just on the field, but in the front office as well. Yep, you heard that right. We have a lot to talk about today. But before we get started, hit the like button if you've been a Chiefs fan for over 20 years. It's great to see fans of all ages here. There are people here who were at the first game. If you can, comment something like, "Come on, Chiefs. Let's go." According to reports, the Chiefs have restructured Mahomes' contract to free up some serious salary cap space. This isn't the first time we've seen the two-time MVP make financial sacrifices for the team, and it just goes to show what kind of leader he is. But he's not the only one. Star defensive tackle Chris Jones also had his deal adjusted, and together, these moves created a whopping $49.4 million in cap space for 2025. That's a game changer. Why is this so important? Well, after coming so close to making history with a three-peat, the Chiefs know they can't afford to sit back. Their Super Bowl 59 loss to the Eagles was a wake-up call, and with teams like the Ravens and Bills gearing up, Kansas City needs to stay aggressive in free agency. And that's exactly what they're doing. The extra cap space has already helped the Chiefs sign left tackle Jalen Moore and cornerback Christian Fulton, two key additions who could make a big impact next season. Now, let's talk numbers. Mahomes is locked into his 10-year, $450 million contract, but after this restructuring, his salary cap hit for 2025 will be just under $39 million, while his dead cap hit is nearly $80 million. As for Chris Jones, this move proves how much his relationship with the franchise has evolved. Remember when he had that holdout that nearly ended his time in Kansas City? Well, that's in the past. Now, he's fully committed to keeping this dynasty going. So what does this all mean? The Chiefs are reloading and are making sure they stay atop the AFC. With Mahomes leading the way and a strong core returning, Kansas City is still the team to beat. But what do you think, Chiefs fans? Do you like these moves? Who else should the team pursue in free agency? Kansas City didn't waste any teamwork this offseason, and while they didn't make flashy moves like some teams, they were smart and strategic. The Chiefs have officially restructured the contracts of Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones, freeing up nearly $50 million in salary cap space. This is a huge development, giving the team the flexibility to bring in new talent, including free agent signings like left tackle Jalen Moore and cornerback Christian Fulton. Now, let's talk about what this means for the team. Mahomes and Jones are the backbone of this roster, and both are locked into long-term deals, Mahomes through 2031 and Jones through 2028. By restructuring their contracts, the Chiefs are essentially spreading out their payouts over multiple years, which is a common move in the NFL to create immediate salary cap relief. Before this move, Kansas City was in a tough financial situation. According to Over the Cap, they were projected to be more than $19 million over the 2025 salary cap. Without making these adjustments, they wouldn't have the flexibility to sign new players or even retain key players on their roster. So how big were Mahomes and Jones' original contracts? Mahomes was set to carry a $28 million salary cap hit in 2025, thanks to his historic 10-year, $450 million deal signed in 2020. Meanwhile, Jones took a $23.6 million salary cap hit. By restructuring their deals, the Chiefs avoided a financial headache and kept themselves in a position to compete at the highest level. What does this tell us about the Chiefs' approach? They're playing the long game. Kansas City isn't just trying to win now, they're making sure they can sustain that success for years to come. With a solid core in place, they are proving once again why they are one of the best-run franchises in the NFL. Looking ahead, the 2025 season is shaping up to be a pivotal one. The Chiefs are coming off a heartbreaking Super Bowl loss, and they know their championship window won't stay open forever. With key veterans like Travis Kelce nearing retirement, the team is doing everything they can to maximize their current roster and make another deep playoff run. Now, it's time for you to weigh in, Chiefs fans. Do you like the way the front office is handling the salary cap? What other changes do you want to see before the season starts? After signing with the Los Angeles Chargers in free agency, Fulton found his way posting a career-best 68.9 overall grade and a 66.6 coverage grade last season. He also allowed 0.98 yards per coverage snap, and his 5'11", 197-pound frame is prototypical size for an outside corner. It should be an addition that helps the Chiefs' secondary. McDuffie turned into one of the league's top cornerbacks with an 82.0 overall grade last season, and Jalen Watson performed admirably with a 69.6 overall grade around breaking his ankle in a Week 7 win over San Francisco. With Nazeeh Johnson struggling mightily, the Chiefs wanted to add depth, which led to Fulton's arrival in Kansas City. The secondary struggles didn't affect the Chiefs on their way to their 5th Super Bowl appearance in the past 6 seasons, but adding Fulton should help them make another bid to get back to the big game in 2025. There's a new face coming to KC, and he's already making promises to fans. Let's break it down. The Chiefs went into this offseason knowing they had big holes to fill, and they didn't waste any time working. Bringing back wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown and signing left tackle Jalen Moore were solid first steps, but there was still one big need: cornerback. The Chiefs needed a reliable partner for Trent McDuffie, someone who could help solidify the secondary as they prepared for another championship run. Well, on Tuesday, Kansas City filled that need in a big way. The Chiefs agreed to a 2-year, $20 million deal with former Titans and Chargers cornerback Kristian Fulton. And let's just say Fulton is coming in with a lot of confidence. On Wednesday morning, before the deal was even official, he took to Instagram to send a message to Chiefs fans. "God will do it," Fulton wrote. "If you know my journey, you know he always had me. Trust me, my best is yet to come. Hashtag Chiefs Kingdom." Now, we've all seen players make these kinds of statements when they join a new team, but for Fulton, it may be true. The former LSU standout was drafted by the Titans in the 2nd round of the 2020 NFL Draft, and while his career has had its ups and downs, he's shown flashes of being a top-tier cornerback. His Pro Football Focus grade jumped from 56.1 as a rookie to 64.1 in his sophomore season, and last year with the Chargers, he posted a career-high 68.9 overall grade and a 66.6 coverage grade. At 5'11" and 197 pounds, Fulton has prototypical size for an outside cornerback and is coming off a season in which he allowed just 0.98 yards per coverage snap. That's the kind of efficiency Kansas City needs, especially after some inconsistent performances from the secondary last season. McDuffie has already emerged as one of the league's top cornerbacks, earning an elite 82.0 overall grade last year. Jalen Watson also played well before breaking his ankle in Week 7 against San Francisco, finishing with a respectable 69.6 grade. But outside of those two, things have been shaky. Nazeeh Johnson struggled when forced into action, and the Chiefs knew they needed to add depth and experience. That's where Fulton comes in. If he can continue the progress he showed in LA last season, he could end up being one of the steals of free agency. And let's be real, playing in Steve Spagnuolo's defense, alongside a defensive line that generates constant pressure, will give him a great opportunity to thrive. Now, while the Chiefs' secondary wasn't exactly a weakness last season, they still made it to their 5th Super Bowl in 6 years. Adding a guy like Fulton only makes them stronger. And in a conference filled with elite quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow, you can never have too much help in the secondary. So what do you think, Chiefs fans? Do you like the addition of Kristian Fulton? Do you think he's the missing piece in the secondary, or should Kansas City try to make another move before the season starts? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an update. We'll see you in the next one.